This afternoon, the Young Republican Freedom Train pulled out of town. It's headed to San Diego for next week's Republican National Convention. Mitch Lawson down at the Tribune Tower, you're obviously heavily involved in the Tribune's convention coverage in terms of coordinating things here for the DNC and also some of the GOP effort. Mitch, there are people out there who are going to say, you know, we spend tax dollars on this. It's just such a phenomenal thing. I mean, so much money that could maybe be put to better use. Do you see any way out of the convention process in the future?
The parties and some political scientists have explored some alternatives. Something as simple as doing a weekend convention would be a little bit less expensive, and the networks may give it more attention because it doesn't compete with prime time. A shorter convention, there was some talk of a 3-day event here. But I think the parties feel a need to come together. I mean, after all, every organization has its annual meetings or biannual meetings or whatever. And so there's a need to come together, agree on a message, elect your officers for the next year. And this is, in some very basic way, something like that.
Well, in terms of the Democratic convention coming here to Chicago shortly, we know Clinton is the nominee, and there are those who said, you know, it's nothing but 4 days of partying. What's the point? Even in that situation where it's the sitting president coming in for a renomination, there are still all these other things that are happening that in your view are important and a reason to sustain the convention process?
Well, I'm one of those political junkies you mentioned at the top of the show, so if there weren't events like this, I wouldn't have a lot to cover during the course of a year. So I have an investment in these kind of events. But I do believe there is a value, and it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be changed, perhaps shortened, the schedule change or something like that. But I think there's a value of once every 4 years, the two parties coming together, agreeing on a message or maybe disagreeing on one and projecting it to the nation, and the nation can then has a chance to say yes or no about it.
Okay.